Our style of Kung Fu is called the BaGuaZhang, which means the palm of the 8th trigram. Hi everyone, welcome again to our BaGuaZhang school. More information about our school at the end of this video. What's the topic of today? The topic of today is palm against fist. Okay? Our style of Kung Fu is called the BaGuaZhang, which means the palm of the 8th trigram, but also could mean the fist of the 8th trigram. So what should we choose? Let's talk about the fist first, okay? So the fist is a blunting weapon at the top of our arms, and it's the most used in martial arts because it's hard, but then also it's actually very fragile. This is why most boxers, in every style, they wrap their hands, they protect their hands with gloves in order to protect themselves from hitting somebody else without breaking their knuckles and eventually their fingers and their hands. So what are we doing here? Bagua, every time, our 200 years of history guarantees a unique technique to step over this difficulty, and it is using the palm. So here we are with our partner Andrea. So first thing that I'm going to try to hit him onto this protection with my bare fist, and let's see actually what effect of this is. Okay, so Andrea, don't do for me, he's not going to react. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to attack him with the fist, one after the other. I'm not very good at a boxer actually, but even at the best, my fist, what they're going to do, and I hope they did a pretty good job, maybe they didn't, but that's not the point. What I'm going to do with my fist, I'm going to try to create some blunting damage onto him. This is what the fist does. So, as a blunting damage is going to be very strong, very hard hitting, very painful, but bruising, and frankly, it might actually remain on the surface. So now, let's see what happens if instead of hitting with the punch, I try to hit with the palm. And what happens is, instead of focusing on the blunting result of the attack, I will try to focus more on stretching my wrist into my opponent. Okay? You could see now that the effect of this onto the partner is entirely different. We can argue what was stronger, maybe a boxer with more boxing technique than me is actually stronger than me at boxing. Maybe somebody else with even a different technique is going to be even better than me and hitting with the palm. What actually happens, and what you can actually see, that the movement that relies on hitting the surface of the palm has an entirely different effect, and that's a penetrating effect, and that can cause much more serious damage than just a punch. So now let's see what happens under a different perspective, whether I use my fist or my palm against something extremely hard. So let's try against the wall. Imagine you want to use your fist and therefore your knuckles to actually take somebody out, and then you end up hitting something very hard on his body like an elbow, a knee, or some part of the head. You're going to be hurting back, okay? What happens instead with the palm is you can hit everywhere. So let's try against this full wood stud, okay? Nothing soft here, only hard involved. So let's just try, just casually hitting with the palm. Okay? I'm not going to pretend I'm stronger than the wall, but I know I can go for another couple of these. Okay? Now, let's try the same thing with our fist. Of course, I'm not going to do that. Nobody will do that with their fist and bare hands. This is how you destroy your hands. So, ask yourself now, by the end of this video, what is actually better? Hitting with the palm, the BaGuaZhang way, or hitting with the fist, like everybody else does? We know other martial arts are beautiful. This is our answer to the question, fist against palm. Thanks for watching the video, and see you next time.